You're listening to the newest episode of Life Equals Choices, Choices Equal Life, with your host, Kim Olver.
Hi, this is Kim, and today is episode 12 of Life Equals Choices, Choices Equal Life, and we are going to talk about learning a very important parenting skill, how to flex your parenting negotiation muscles. This week I want to talk about how to work out your differences with your kids so you can both get what you need. I often ask parents the question, whose needs are more important, theirs or their children's? The room is typically split on the answer. If you listened to last week's podcast when we talked about what type of parent you are, permissive parents give in to their children, usually giving them what they want without getting their own needs met. If this is you, you probably feel tired and taken advantage of by your children. This can lead to three possible outcomes. A parentified child who takes care of their parent, a child doing extreme things to get noticed by their parent, or a child who walks all over their parent. Strict parents are more concerned about their kids staying safe and towing the line. You get your needs met, but your kids don't, other than their safety and security need. This can also lead to three outcomes. An overly compliant child who will do anything anyone asks them to do, a child afraid of anything and everything, or a rebellious child seeking unsafe ways to meet their needs. Choice parents understand it's crucial for parents to get their needs met. It's also just as crucial for children to meet theirs. Parents need to get their needs met so they can be at their best while parenting. Children need to meet theirs so they aren't forced to develop creative, probably undesirable, and potentially unsafe ways to meet their needs because more responsible ways have been blocked by you. How can you both get your needs met when it seems you are diametrically opposed? Negotiation is the vehicle to getting there. Many parents somehow believe negotiating with their children means they have lost their power, but the reverse is actually true. You gain more power in the long run. When your child sees you as fair, they will come to you to help them through challenges. They will trust you. They will be more honest with you. This is all capital you can use to your benefit to provide influence when your child needs you the most. A parent who is willing to negotiate with their child is one who understands their job is to keep that child safe while wanting their child to get their needs met at the same time. If you've listened to earlier podcasts, then you know people in general, including your children, are driven by 5 basic needs: safety and security, connection, significance, and joy. Everyone has these needs. Because they are children with many of their options provided or refused by their parents, parents can create an easy or challenging environment for children to get their needs met. Parents need to listen to what their children want. While doing that, it can be helpful to listen to the underlying need or needs that would be met if your child could have what they want. Parents need to figure out what they want in the long run and develop the patience and willingness to give up what they want right now in favor of getting what they really want later. Most parents want respect, obedience, and their child's safety. However, what they really want is a child who grows up to be competent, healthy, and happy. Negotiation is the way through these challenging times. Your children will tell you what they want. They won't normally be able to give voice to need. That's your job. There's a difference. There are only 5 things people need. They need safety and security. They need connection. They need significance. They need freedom. And they need joy. These are the needs required to feel content, fulfilled, and happy. You may believe your child doesn't need these things, but they do, just like you. They're programmed into all human genetic instructions. I've talked with parents who thought children could get their needs met when they were adults. Believe me, parents who think this way are going to have more than their share of parenting challenges. Even though all people have these 5 basic needs in common, not everyone needs them in equal amounts. For example, as a parent, you may have a higher need for significance than your child. They may have a higher significance need than you. Your child may need more freedom, and you may need it. or vice versa. Sometimes your need strengths will be compatible and work well together, and other times you may be at odds. Just because people have these needs doesn't mean they're good at meeting them. People generally won't die if their needs aren't met, but they will be quite unhappy. As your child's safety is at risk, you won't care much whether or not they are happy. You will simply do what's necessary to protect them. And if your child is angry with you, so be it. You won't spend a lot of time on negotiating during these times. However, when safety isn't an issue, I strongly encourage you to practice the art of good negotiation. And I'm not talking about the kind of negotiation that leads to you having a win. I'm talking about negotiating until you have a win, and so does your child. You should walk away from the negotiation with both of you getting your needs met. You may not both get exactly what you want, but your underlying needs will be met. Treat your child like you might a friend. Don't tell them what to do. If he or she wants something you don't like, make a counteroffer. Let them think about it and propose their own counteroffer. If you accept, great. If not, propose your next counteroffer. This is to play out until you are both satisfied with the outcome. Resist the temptation to pull the parent card. You know what I mean. Deciding that you know best and dictating what the solution will be in a take-it-or-leave-it kind of way. If you and your child can't get exactly what you want, you should both be able to get what it is you need. This is why it's important for you to listen to your child, to do the best you can to understand the need or needs behind your child's want so you can help them find an acceptable solution. Proposing something that would meet the need for connection will not be met by something that meets the need for freedom. You will need to discuss your thoughts with your child for confirmation. Your job in the negotiation is to explore what your child wants, what they ultimately need, and work towards a win-win-win solution. Yes, 3 wins. You win, your child wins, and the relationship wins for going through this process. If your child of conversation, all you can do is propose something you think will meet their unmet need. If they accept the suggestion, you're probably on the right track. Just don't get so entrenched in what you think is right. Something that meets your need may meet a different need in your child, or could even meet no need at all. The problem with depriving them of what they need is that they will still need it. The biological push to get what you need doesn't stop just because your parent says no. That child still wants what they want, driven by the need that's being frustrated. Without a win for your child, he or she will still be working to get those unmet needs met, and you may not like the way they choose to do that. I remember when my sons were in high school. They often had a party to attend on the weekends. They were friends with these 2 girls whose parents would never let them go to parties. Instead of working with them to determine if they had the skill to manage the situations their parents were afraid of, they just told their daughters no. I'm here to tell you those girls never missed a party. They developed excellent lying skills, telling their parents a fictional tale of what they would be doing when their goal all along was to get to the party. When you are negotiating, it's advisable to let your children know about your fears. Remind them you are their parent and your job is to keep them safe. Ask them what they'll do in the situations you're afraid of. If they have the behavior necessary to keep them safe, then give your permission. If they don't, tell them, yes, you can go when you come up with an acceptable plan to manage those situations I'm worried about. Acceptable means you believe they can and will do what they're saying. If they do, great. If they don't, next time they ask to go somewhere, your answer will be no, until they come up with a plan that's better than the previous one that addresses the things that got in the way of them successfully executing their first plan. Here's an example of negotiating on something that you may not like. Let's pretend your child says he wants to spend time with a friend you don't know. You aren't sure he or she will be a good influence, and you instinctively want to say no when your child asks to go to their house for the weekend. You want them home with someone else you know. Your child is looking for some significant freedom, connection, and joy. You want to keep them safe. Could you take them to the friend's house, meet the parents, and pick your child up the same day without the sleepover? Could you invite the unknown child to stay at your house? Could you have your child plan a big sleepover at your house with people you're familiar with? You have many You have many options when you're working to help your child get their needs met responsibly, so you don't drive them to opt for riskier methods by saying no. If you're interested in more on negotiating differences, you will find more examples in my Empowerment Parenting ebook, which can be found at bit.ly/choice parenting. I hope you'll join me next week when I will be answering a question I hear a lot. How do kids learn responsibility without punishment? Talk with you then.
This has been another thought-provoking episode of Life Equals Choices, Choices Equal Life. To listen to past episodes, please visit our website at www.therelationshipcenter.biz/podcast and remember to subscribe.